Have you ever taken an interest in scuba diving? Or perhaps exploring an alien planet? Getting to see the diversity of everything the universe has to offer? Well, why not try both? Subnautica is a game that I played through the entirety of, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing through. From the super peaceful shallows, chock full of cute fish, aliens, I don't fucking know, space marine life, to the vast endlessness of the void, which is sure to inflict a fucking panic attack the second a ghost leviathan shows up to end your current excursion and cause you to lose your shit for both your inventory and also mentally. Subnautica enthralled me. The awesome set pieces and fun gameplay, like, oh shit, crafting and grinding, resources, it's just like Minecraft, but underwater, and with RTX turned on. And also fucking sea monsters trying to harvest your organs. Thus, the game leaves you shaking, quaking in your boots. My first experience of this game, which I'm sure he was for a lot of others too, was the funny, charming, sexy internet man. I was a prepubescent dork when that series first started out, and I watched a few episodes before I decided I'd play the game for myself. But I didn't have a console to play it on. Cut to 7 years later, and I had a new friend, and we got to chatting about some video games, and the topic of Subnautica had come up, and she was like, dude, you totally gotta play it. And upon thought of how exciting it'd be to play it after all those years, I remembered I was a broke-ass high school student who did not have a job or any ambitions. So she gave me some cash, and I started playing it with her backseating me, and I decided after a couple hours in the game that I'd love to record my experiences and wanted to make a video about it. However, there was a big problem, and it was the fact that I didn't have a PC. That idea I finally had as a kid came to fruition, and with a new rig and a few more chest hairs, I finally convinced myself to play the game and make a video on it. So here's a rundown of my playthrough of Subnautica. Also at the end I'm going to have a little review also, so you should stay for that as well. So the game starts off as the Aurora's ship mysteriously decides to self-implode and crash into the fucking ocean. Well, fortunately, we're in an escape pod and we survive the crash landing unscathed.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and well...
I immediately go out to gaze at the fallen ship before I decided to get my toes wet and start farming for materials, and also scanning wreckage pieces to get blueprints for more shit to craft. Remember, this is important because you will be scanning literally everything. I got myself a sea glide, and this will help traversing the new world I have found myself in. Over time, we get tons of radio signals
Big guys, and they grab on my thigh.
that tell us that there are missing escape pods that are sending out distress signals. After I come across a few of the escape pods that have apparently either from shit luck or fucking stupidity
Rest flare! Stop waving it around like that, you'll catch the fuel line!
are completely destroyed. Well, at least it can't get any worse, right? Oh shit! I mean, at least we conveniently obtain the blueprints for a radiation suit, which will be useful later. I end up traveling to the Aurora after crafting that dandy new suit, and I noticed I was woefully unprepared and needed some more tools in order to fully check that place out. While grinding to make the tools, our nifty radio has a few more messages.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now.
I learned that a space vessel called Sunbeam noticed the ship's distress signal and sent help. They are going to attempt to retrieve me from a nearby island. Upon arriving, I noticed a very tall, ominous tower. I wonder if that's going to be important to the story. It was. After searching the island and filling my inventory with enough untaxed riches to get the IRS knocking on my door, I came across a tablet, and using it, I descended down this weird-looking ancient alien building. As you can assume, I was quite cautious as I was searching the building, as I had no idea what was in store for me. After getting fucking Aaron Yeagered, I am alarmed to the fact that I'm slowly dying from this space disease named Kara, and the entire planet was on lockdown. So as any sane man would do, I decided to prick myself again. It gave me PDA data on some locations of different facilities around the world. Leaving the facility, I waited for the sunbeam to pick me up. As the tower began to shift into what looks like a giant artillery rifle, I remember pondering to myself, that's weird. I wonder if that's going to do something. Turns out the core that it got pricked by was actually powering this huge rifle that would shoot down any ship entering or leaving its atmosphere. In order to turn it off, I had to cure my space gonorrhea and disable it. Anyways, I swam my sorry ass back to my pitiful excuse of a base. With the worst interior design I've ever seen, I contemplated my lack of talent for building. I got a strange telepathic message from this alien thingy. The fuck? What the fuck is happening? But that'll have to wait. I finally got the materials and equipment I need to search the shipwreck. After I created a EvMatt, I began investigating the Aurora. However, the spawn of Satan itself... Oh, what the fuck?! The little water chihuahua decided to check me out and nearly destroy the EvMatt I had just made. I carefully parked it on shore in a panic, which would soon bite me in the ass. Investigating this ship while it was still engulfed in flames, and while I might have burned myself to death a few times, there's some useful shit in here. I started scanning all the prawn suit fragments, and I eventually unlocked the blueprint for crafting it. I wonder how much it'd cost to make it. For fuck's sake. I found myself in the captain's quarters. Somehow, cleverly, and totally not cheating, I found the right password and entered the room. The schematics used for the rocket to escape the planet were inside. Somehow, while in a panic, I managed to get my EvMatt stuck, and after attempting to get it unstuck for like 20 minutes, which was a complete waste of time, the spawn of Satan had returned and caught me with my pants down, which was nice of him because I'm sure I was going to shit myself. Holy shit! A while later, I went to a floating island after following a trail looking for some possible important survivors. They left a voice memo, which they confirmed that they left the island, which led to both of them more than likely being killed, and learned that there was a purpose for the Aurora stopping by this planet. These dismantled shelters belonged to the remains of the Degassi survivors who had all died to the Kara disease. I returned home and decided to move to a new area. I'm way more happy with this shelter as its scenery is way nicer and I have some new gadgets and tools to show for it. While exploring, I ended up finding an underwater cave with glowing mushrooms, and I decided to fuck around for a little bit and get more lore. There's lots of ores and other stuff that would require a prawn suit to obtain, so I just kind of blue-balled myself while staring at those precious resources. After ages of searching the depths of the ocean, I finally came across the last fragment of the Cyclops. Listen to how elated I was.
New blueprint acquired.
Find a fucking lead, jeez. I returned home and made a Cyclops in a prawn suit. I decided to name my prawn suit a totally original name that I have no idea how I got. I continued grinding for more resources, for multiple upgrades to the prawn suit and Cyclops to get ready to the travel to my absolute favorite part of the game, the Lost River. It has several skeletons and fossils from previous life forms like ancient sea leviathans. They look really sick, and it's my favorite has to be the giant gargantuan leviathan fossil. Imagining this creature while I was still alive and hunting must have been absolutely terrifying, and I have seen that there are mods for this particular thing. But I have not yet played that, nor do I think I will. Nah, I should totally play it. Anyway, I found the disease research facility I was looking for and found out that this disease was a bacteria brought to the planet for study by this race called the Precursors, and it ended up getting released when a Leviathan-class predator broke the disease facility. It also gives us clues to a possible cure for the outbreak that is stored in a containment unit 14,000 meters down. My conditions also seem to have worsened as green pustules can now be found on my skin. And I don't think Proactive is going to help anymore. However, there is a big problem. The facility is much deeper than my EvMatt can go, so I'll need to bring my Cyclops fully upgraded in order to traverse those depths. While grinding for more resources for my Cyclops, I ended up venturing to the Grand Reef where I ran into a load of crab squids and a new location, a new Degassi survivor base, and I picked up some useful resources and schematics. I also lost another EvMatt. The tension I felt as I ascended to the surface was very thick, and I ended up holding my breath, which is also just another reason why this game is so immersive. As you're ascending and blacking out, you might end up even holding your breath yourself. Making use of my prawn upgrade, I ended up going back to the glowing mushroom cave in order to get some magnetite. And again, that is very useful for upgrades, like depth modules and other shit. I don't fucking know. I became a very proud father as I watched my aliens hatch in my alien containment unit. I made beacons to help better track locations. For instance, navigating at night was very difficult, so I'd prefer to know where everything is, especially whenever I bring my Cyclops with me. I took my prawn suit to the lava zone in order to obtain some kyanite and other resources, and to also scout out a little bit before traversing its depths with the Cyclops, as it's kind of hard to control by yourself and a little clunky, so it ends up getting caught on locations. Unfortunately, the sea dragon snuck up on me and decided to nearly destroy my prawn suit. Oh shit. Hello, buddy. Hello. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! The late game is pretty quick, so here's some events. Lots of grinding for materials and getting the Cyclops prepped for my journey down. You ain't gonna reap shit, bitch! Oh, shit! Filling the Cyclops with plants and a ton of batteries, power cells, medkits, and other resources for crafting. I ran into some frame trouble on my end and couldn't find the cause. If only I could figure it out. Don't understand. Are you fucking serious? Oh, it's because fucking Fortnite's running. As I was piloting Tiny Tim into the Kush zone, I entered the Lost River entrance from there and went into the lava zone in order to reach the alien containment facility. After teabagging and scanning the bones of my biggest hater, narrowly avoiding the wrath of the sea dragon, I eventually made my way to the facility, only to figure out I didn't have the right fucking fragment type. What? How the fuck do you get a blue tablet? I need to find the blue fragment before being allowed to progress further into the game. After a wild goose chase around the entirety of the map to get the proper fragments to open the doors I had needed, I had the blue tablet and also a schematic for the ion batteries and ion cells, which is a very powerful alternative compared to the batteries and power cells that we had before. I made it to the containment room after exploring the whole facility. All the vents I had seen up until now were intaking and outputting the water from around the planet into this containment room. I also found a lot of notes and artifacts from the precursors, some of which are strangely human-like. After I end up landing into the pool, I get interrupted by the Sea Emperor, which was the voice that sent those telepathic messages from before. She let me know that the final thing I needed to do to save the planet is to fertilize her eggs. Are you fucking serious? By getting different flora from around the area in order to create the enzymes. While on my journey across the map of Subnautica, I also ended up going to the gassy base again to get a yellow tablet. Using the tablet, I have access to this room, and in the room there's tons of materials like ion cubes and other scannable items. I also ended up finding another egg, but this one was very special. Once I'd gathered all the seeds of all the fauna that I needed to create the hatching enzymes, I inserted it into the incubation machine. It's time. Time to fertilize these eggs. I'm a proud father again. Wow. They get to be with their mama. That's so cute. After the eggs hatched, the babies got to meet their mother, and in a really somber moment, she let me know that this was her final goal before passing on to her eternal rest.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end. What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seas to a new land. Or a creature so small, it sees the gaps between the grains of sand. Farewell, friend.
Her monologue still gives me goosebumps listening back even while editing. After following her babies through the portal, I ended up sticking my hand in the Sea Emperor vomit and eventually cured myself of the Kara disease. Now all that's left is to disable the gun and build a ship. I made my way to deactivating the gun, and once completed, I can finally leave the atmosphere. Once I had finished returning home, I found that my cuttlefish egg had finally hatched. Look at the cuttlefish! I was hanging out with the little guy. Look at him. Love him. I have a son now. Look at it. He's got like a ang thingy on his face too. He's adorable. I'm gonna call him Billy. I started construction on the rocket, each piece needing necessary resources from around the game. And while I was getting the resources, I ran into the fucker again. Except this time it's different now. I have the stasis rifle. I have power. After I did that, I decided what's better than a normal Reaper Leviathan? A sea dragon. Oh god, he's yelling at me. Oh fuck. After logging the Reaper, Sea Dragon, and Ghost Leviathan, I was content as I had finally conquered the sea. I finished building the rocket and I set my fish free. I said goodbye to my son Billy as I boarded the ship and prepared for liftoff. As the ship ascended and the time capsule launched, I entered space and hit the ion booster and went into hyperdrive. The Sea Emperor has a final message for us before we make our way back. Only to find out that we have even more debt than before.
Welcome home to Alterra. Permission to land will be granted once you have settled your outstanding balance of 1 trillion credits.
Why the fuck did I leave the planet? Subnautica is a wonderful game. I loved it. Genuinely. And as far as survival games go, I believe this one is top 3 for me. The world is beautiful. Each biome has diverse life and landscapes and music that really helps grasp the tone in the areas, and it really lends to its true beauty of the planet 4546b. The gameplay is fun, and overall surviving in the world was very fun. I wish that I had learned how to build and didn't really kind of make my base until after I learned the mechanics a bit more, that way it didn't look like shit like before. But I digress. The lore of this game is expansive, and I recommend checking out lore videos and icebergs if you haven't already, and you enjoy this game. I'm sure most of you that are already watching this video are either somewhat interested in the game or have already been interested in the game for a while, so check it out if you like the game. The story is simple but quite engaging. You crash on a planet, and in order to leave, you have to deactivate the gun, after curing yourself by hatching the Sea Emperor Leviathans, and you leave the planet. Everything in between is very exciting and fun, especially if you play in the dark and also wear headphones. Very immersive gameplay for sure. There are several PDAs of the fates of the other life pod members, and the story of the 3 survivors of the Degassi trying to survive before all dying out was very, very interesting to listen to. And the history of the precursors is very compelling to listen to. You get to go into a lot of the alien fortifications that they built and get to look at all the artifacts that even hint at a possible connection to humanity. It's very intriguing. And also how the fate of the planet really fell because the precursors ended up bringing the Kara bacteria to the planet in order to study it and prevent it from spreading. Ended up getting loose after a predator just knocked the laboratory out and unleashed it around the world, and that's exactly why they ended up quarantining the planet. Again, my final thoughts of the game. I recommend you play it for yourself. Watching it only does it so much justice, as getting to immerse yourself in the world of Subnautica in its entirety is so good. With all the life and its monsters and the story of overcoming the odds of a sole survivor at sea in an alien world, so much fun. With my game time being just shy of 35 hours, I can very much say that I loved this game. It's honestly an unforgettable journey, and I can't recommend it enough. So please play the game for yourself if you haven't already. Subnautica is ultimately a must-play experience. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun putting it all together, and if you like the content, I would please ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get alerted when I make new videos. I'm very new to this whole YouTube thing, and it's really fun, so if you'd like to come back, that'd be amazing. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. There's the end of Subnautica.